We are back with another jam-packed episode of Lunes Live. Your favorite Compas got you covered with all of our NFL Week 10 takeaways. Plus, the Chargers shut down and kind of shut up Aaron Rodgers against the Steelers or on Sunday Night Football for the whole world to see. But I've been noticing, Gilbert, on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, Charger fans are not happy. Why? The national media is saying this is more about Rodgers and the Steelers being frauds than it is about the Chargers being good. So we'll get into some of that.
Okay.
The Rams go back to Santa Clara and they say, hey, what happened at week 2 or 3? That was a fluke. We came in here, we beat that. We like Sean Merriman did last night, we put belt to ass and that's it for the 49ers are going to win the division talk. But we'll get into all that. All right, Hilberto, do you have an engagement question for our viewers and or listeners?
Yeah, just a quick reminder. I told you guys the 49ers won't make the playoffs, so give me a pat on the back there. It's too early to say that anyways, but yeah.
I was about to say.
Way too early. But yeah, they're definitely fading fast. But for the engagement question of the week, we're going to talk about the AFC. Which team is going to win the number 1 seed in the AFC? Surprisingly, 3 teams are tied atop with 8-2 records. It's not the Ravens, it's not the Bills, it's not the Chiefs, it's not the Chargers. Patriots, Colts, and the fraud Broncos are top 3. So from those 3 teams, who's going to take the number 1 seed?
I like congratulate whatever. I'm not going to even say the name. But his engagement question is better. What should I get at Carl's Jr.? The double Western bacon cheeseburger.
That is one of the few things we always agree on, Fernando. Always go with the double Western
dude, I you know what's funny, and just to give you guys a little bit of insight, but when Dan Gilbert and I would go do those crazy, or even just Gilbert and I would do those 24-hour Vegas trips for boxing or combat sports, we would always stop at the same Carl's Jr. and we'd both get the same thing, or if Dan's there too, we would get the same thing as well. But yeah, you can never go wrong with a double Western bacon cheeseburger.
Jr. that we stopped at is not there anymore. It shut down. I was disappointed last time I drove by through there.
Oh, that is very sad. Watch, by the way, they're gonna put an egg on that thing pretty soon and call it a breakfast burger as well. So
I'll take it. I like the what's it called?
Breakfast burger.
Yeah, I think it's bomb. With the hash browns in there or the little small tater tots, those are bomb. But yeah, Carl's Jr. real quick is a very underrated fast food chain. I love that place
because the burgers are like put on hell no. They're put like on the they're not put on like a skillet. They're put on like a grill, like a charcoal grill. Like I'm all about that. But yeah, and then Gilbert, usually you and I are kind of like kind of over this. Like, let's get Monday over with, but not tonight. The Philadelphia Eagles are headed to the Green Bay Packers tonight for what should be an interesting matchup. How will you be watching the game?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you asked because remember last week with my antenna, I was ahead. I was beating you guys there with the rabbit ears there. So. Yeah, I got an antenna last week. Shout out to Victor for the recommendation. I hooked that thing up, and yeah, I got Monday Night Football. Screw you, ESPN and Disney. Screw you, YouTube and Google TV. Whoever the hell owns YouTube TV or Alphabet.
We're on YouTube, asshole.
I know. I know way too much. Oh, actually, yeah. YouTube sponsor us. We're on your side. I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't care. I'll sell my soul like some of these ESPN people. Sponsor YouTube. Sponsor us YouTube and I'll tweet whatever you want on my X, my Blue Sky, my Butterfly, whatever you want to do. I'm all about it. But yeah, I will sell my soul here, YouTube TV, because ESPN apparently did. That's a different topic for another day. ESPN's going down. But yes, you asked me a question. I got the antenna. If you have a problem like me and you have YouTube TV, you came to the right place. And this is where I get your money. Go to the description and go to the link in the description for the antenna that I got. I think it works well. So, I'm trying to find a way to promote this antenna. It's just an antenna, but it does come clutch. You do stay ahead of the streaming. And then the best part, if you use that link in the description, the Compas get a cut out of it on Amazon. Maybe we should get on Amazon Prime too. We get a cut, and then that will go towards the money we're trying to raise for Super Bowl Radio Row. I just said a lot, but go to the link in the description for your antenna.
You did say a lot. By the way, I know a lot of people were not happy at ESPN because Pat McAfee basically called out all the reporters and stuff that were crapping on them. But I'm like, dude, again, that's what you guys signed up for when you gave him a bag full of money. Like, that's
Good. I'm glad he's speaking his mind.
That's what Pax. Yeah, until he says something naughty, and then people get all freaked out.
Now, somebody had to speak about this. Come on. And I saw Mina Kimes apologize, but that was not a good look.
Oh, dude, that was so bad. And then obviously, Coach JB just he took advantage of that. He trounced on that shit.
He took his moment there. Okay,
I know exactly. We should get him on. That'd be funny. Jesse, it was glorious. Eric fell. You know, it's funny. And one of those, Eric kind of like head bopped, and he goes, "Are you shitting me?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "We're already in Oceanside." I'm like, "Bro." I'm like, I gotta get you home. That night tea, like we gotta get it going. And Dante couldn't go to the game because he had some work to do, but he just starts laughing. He's like, "Cabrón, manejas como que si vas a cobrar herencia," and I start laughing. I'm like, "You're not wrong on that." Like, sometimes I do drive a little nuts, but it was funny because now that the Super Bowl's back in Los Angeles next year, Dan's like, "Are we doing the same thing we did last year?" I'm like, our first Super Bowl. I'm like, I think so. We'll get a place in Anaheim. We drive up, we pick up Gilbert, and we meet Vic up there. And I know Vic wasn't there the first time around, but we'll meet Vic over by, because I'm sure it's going to be next to Staples Center, the Radio Row and everything. But it was so funny. I was telling that to Eric, and Eric's like, I might join you guys. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I might stay at that same Marriott, and the three of us can drive up and go pick up Gilbert. And I just started laughing. I was like, can you last an hour in the car? I was like, can I last an hour in the car listening to Gilbert, Dan, and Eric fight each other? I'm like, that's just a great podcast right there waiting to happen.
I don't know. Some of those days are really early and nobody's talking. I need my coffee. You know, Dan needs his Diet Coke. And like, if we say a word, we're just going to piss each other off. So I think half of the time we were just quiet. But yeah, I remember the Arizona trip. Remember we were like going from like freaking Goodyear to Phoenix. That was like an hour plus.
Hey, but the place was so good. Who gives a shit?
Oh yeah, that was a nice setup there.
Yeah.
Which that was a chaotic, I guess, way to get that place.
Oh,
but
dude,
that's
you
the
were
story
on
for another day.
you were on the phone for like 4 hours, 5 hours.
Yeah, and then I know we have the one in Santa Clara first, and we're gonna crush it. We're gonna have our best Super Bowl Raider Row yet. Again, link in the description for your antenna, and we get a cut out of it for Super Bowl Raider Row. But I can't wait for the LA one because it's gonna be kind of full circle how we started, and some of those videos are up there, and they're not the best, but it's a reminder how far we've arrived here on Compas on the Beat.
I know, for real, especially with us getting Pat the first time.
Yeah, that was cool.
My God, Schultz and Kellerman are just HJing each other on social media right now. For the love of God, get a room. All right, Gilbert. Gilbert, it's been very impressive, and I know they played the Tennessee Titans. They played Carson Wentz, but there was a lot of questions that I've been having, that you've been having. We've talked about it, and the defense had struggled. The defense had not been playing well. People were calling what's his name? Jesse Minter a fraud. Maybe he isn't what he claims to be, and maybe he's not this defensive guru. Gilbert, in the last 3 games, 12 sacks, 4 takeaways, 6 of 32 on third down conversions. Last night, the Steelers didn't even get a first down on third down until in the fourth quarter. By the way, you like insight, right?
Yeah.
You like a little. One player goes, "Why was this motherfucker still in the game?" Aaron Rodgers late in the game. He wanted his stat stuff. He wanted to get a touchdown. Because remember, he had no touchdowns. He was at 20, or he was at 2 picks at the end of the game.
Trying to get up in the rankings, right? Like top 3 all time, some crap like that.
That's what one player literally goes to me and goes, "Why was that motherfucker still in the game?" He's like, "He's trying to stat stuff." And I'm like, wow. They're like, if you notice, he didn't want any of us at all, like the whole night. And all of a sudden at the end, when we start taking guys out, we start resting. Oh, he's still in there. And he's now he starts dinking and dunking and slinging it and doing all this. Why do you wait? And I'm like, dang, that's pretty true. So Just I obviously
Oh,
yesterday was
real quick, it also matters
yeah,
for the defense because I know people don't care about garbage time stats, but no one's gonna remember it was a garbage time touchdown. Same thing for
no.
Rodgers' record, and then for the Chargers' overall stats. Like say you're a free agent, you're like, I was part of that Chargers group that only allowed 200 yards per game, da da da. But then when you look at the stats, like actually you guys weren't that good this week, and it's like nobody revisited. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like the Pro Bowl, right? You have it a notch on your belt for when contracts come around. So I get why players care about that.
Yeah, no, I
Both
completely
sides.
agree. Yeah. But I did have the Steelers winning the game. I thought they were going to come in. They were
Oh,
going to be the same off the Colts. I was actually very surprised at the way they played. I thought the most crucial mistake of Rodgers was late in the game when they had 4th and goal and he throws it to DK and Cam Hart just knocks it. Like he just gets in his way and he's able to like I don't know. I can't remember if he deflected it or not, but it goes incomplete. The Chargers turn around and they score a touchdown off of that and they basically put the game away. Like if they would have been up 15 to they would have been up 15 to 3. They score that, they get the 7 points. They're at 15 and 10. In years past, the Chargers probably go 3 and out. They give it back to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh goes up the field, scores, takes the lead, and then we'll see what happens. But that's the difference. And I feel like last night, the Chargers took more of the mold of Jim Harbaugh than the Steelers did of Mike Tomlin. And again, little tidbit, players told me that Aaron was mother effing teammates and that he was getting pissed. So I was very, very, very interested about that. That was an interesting tidbit from last night. But Gilbert, I want to hear because I jumped on when you had already basically given most of your
yeah.
opinions about it. But I just wanted to see what you thought of the game last night because I don't know what you went with. I don't know if you had them winning, losing, or what you thought.
Yeah.
But now I'm giving you. I want to hear from you.
Just to go off of King Rise comment there, giving you crap for going with the Steelers. I didn't pick the Steelers. I went with the Chargers, but I said the Chargers are going to be in a close game, and I even took the Steelers +3 in the betting show that we have. Check that out every Thursday. We drop it, but I thought it's going to be a close game because I'm like, how is this crappy old line going to defend TJ Watt? I know the Steelers defense has not been great, but they made some tweaks with Jalen Ramsey playing safety. I thought maybe they'll get pressure, and they did get pressure early on Justin Herbert. So, I did get lucky on that one. I chose the Chargers, but I said it's going to be a close game for the Steelers. So I won't take a full victory lap here. But I get what you were thinking, Fernando. This O line cannot be trusted. But you know what's the weird thing, and we could compare. We could do a kind of a nice comparison for a positive thing here for Charger fans. Like both both primetime games, the Thursday night one against the Vikings and then the Sunday night game against the Steelers. I thought it's gonna be close games because both of them have good fronts. They both bring pressure. They both have good pass rushers, and both times the Chargers won in dominant fashion. So the first one was Joe Alt came back against Minnesota. This one, Joe Alt wasn't on the field. No Slater, no Hampton. So I think there's a lot of positives to take away from beating a pretender like the Steelers. I know they're frauds overall, but that's still a good front there. You show that you're able to adjust on the fly. That's what I wrote at SI.com. Like, I know it got really bad there for a second, but you gotta just not make excuses. You can't cry and have a pity party. You gotta adjust on the fly there. So they did that. They stuck to the run with Kamani Vidal. Is it Vidal or Vidal? I always get it wrong, Fernando. Vidal, right?
I call him Vidal. Yeah.
Yeah, I always hear it on the broadcast. I'm like, okay, it doesn't sound right. And then you're gonna get Amari Hampton after the bye week, like you alluded to on What's Up Bolts. But I was pretty impressed there, and to do that without Joe Alt, without even the guy you traded for, Trevor Penny, this random Patrick offensive line. So there's a lot of positives to take away here from this game here overall. But you're always going to have a chance when you have Harbaugh pressing the keys and you have Justin Herbert there. So you keep them upright, you keep them healthy, you have a balanced attack. I know the strength of the team was to have elite bookend tackles, but you still have a very good quarterback who's capable of being elite on a weekly basis. I know Harbaugh does not want him to be a superhero, but that's the crappy hand they got dealt. He could be a superhero. There's a lot of teams who get dealt crappy hands that don't have a superhero quarterback, and then they fade fast into the night sun there and just forget about the season. The Chargers would not have that because they have Justin Herbert.
No, and I truly believe that as well. I feel like the thing that they've done is Jim really cannot say, "Oh, I don't want him to be a superhero. I want him," like, that's over with. Like, he has to be a superhero now. That's what Herbert's going to have to do now. He's going to have to be a superhero for one more game, I believe. I feel like when Omari and Hampton come back, they're going to be I think they're going to be a different team. I think with Vidal, they found their number 2 back. And I'm not saying for next season. I'm saying for right now.
Yeah.
They found a guy that could come in, that could help with the run game, that can help move things around and being able to be that 1-2 punch with because he gives you a different look than what Omarian's more of like the thumper, and I think Vidal's the more elusive kind of shifty back. So I definitely think that this is a huge I think that's why the Chargers stood still, that and like obviously Cap, but I definitely think that's why they stood still and they waited for the running back. I mean, obviously Breece Hall would be a great back, but you're not ready for a Breece Hall yet. You needed a Trevor Penning more than you did a Breece Hall. And I feel like that's why they decided to go with this move. But I'm really interested to see what this looks like, because I think Trevor Penning is going to have to start at some point. I think Austin is not very good. I think he did all right, but I just feel like they really are going to need to I think they're going to need to keep it moving, and they're going to have to definitely get more out of their offensive line because, like Brett said, 2.2 seconds a throw and being sacked 5 times is not ideal. And then Vic mentioned it last night. By the way, thank you to you and Vic for jumping on and helping out with that. But that hip drop tackle that Herbert got, he's not going to be able to survive if you keep on letting him get hit like that. And
yeah, banged up ankle too, right?
Yeah, exactly. I know Harbaugh said this today. He's like, "Oh, what did he say?" He said, "Herbert, how's he feeling? Well, he's still a beast," or something like that. So obviously he's not going to say that he is hurt or whatever, but I definitely think that they need to keep protecting him, and I think we're going to see this 2-point. I think we're going to see this 3-step drop until teams start defending it more. We're going to see it a lot more because Quentin showed last night that he could do it. I mean, that nasty stiff arm in the fourth quarter, I was like, damn, all right, there you go. Like, you need more of that. So I completely, I kind of feel that moving forward, they're going to need to be there. The defense is going to need to play like that. And as soon as Omarion comes back, I feel like Herbert is going to get more of the help that he needs, especially because I feel like that kid's he's really talented.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And last thing before we get going, I think this year is different than last year because of all the playmakers that have been added.
Yeah.
All the positive emerging rookies, like Gatson came out of nowhere, and it sounds like he's okay too. You got 3 legit wide receivers, you got 2 running backs. So stay balanced, keep them upright. You're gonna have a chance in the dance.
And that's why Herbert is gonna sing this song to Harbaugh.
Kiss it, baby.
Exactly. All right. Gilbert, moving along now to the 49ers and the Rams. Obviously, like I mentioned in the opening, the 49ers came in and they blitzed the Rams a couple of weeks ago at the beginning of the season, and they beat them, and it was one of those upset wins that everybody was like, oh crap. But then the Rams go up there and they just mollywop the 49ers. The closest it got, which credit to the 49ers, was 21-14 with 9:33 left with a Brian Robinson 1-yard touchdown. But after that, Devontae Adams scored a touchdown. Then the Rams scored or they got it to 28-8 or 28-20. Then the Rams just kept on scoring, and there was nothing else they can do. Mac Jones actually did not have a bad game. 33 of 39, 319, 3 touchdowns. On the other side, though, Kyron Williams, 14 carries, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. Matthew Stafford, 26 of 36, 284 touchdowns. Devontae Adams, 6 catches, 77, 1 touchdown. I know he left hurt, but Eric told me after the game that it sounded in McVay's press conference that he should be good to go this week when they play the Seahawks. So definitely an interesting game. Gilbert, what did you make of the way this game kind of came down to the arm of Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, like I told Victor on House of Horns, they kind of need to get that revenge, close the chapter on that, up and down, first quarter of the season. I know they handled business against the AFC, but you blew one in Philadelphia, you blew it at home against a banged up 49ers team, and to me, I'm like, I got to see more. I got to see you guys beat up on a good team. So for them to handle business and show that they're better than the 49ers, that proved a lot. I'm even thinking about like, okay, maybe this team could go further than divisional round. And I've been saying all season, this seems like a divisional round team. That's about it. Now I'm thinking they have bigger goals here. So if you go and you take it to the Seahawks, who I think have been overrated, and let me just paraphrase or just kind of like explain myself. Like people say, or hey, I'm crapping on the Heat Seahawks, and I give them a lot of crap here. No, I just think people crown them too soon. I just think they're overrated. They beat nobody. They lost to the 49ers at home. They lost to the Buccaneers at home. They don't have a real signature victory. If we're going to discredit the Chargers for beating the Steelers, what's the Seahawks' best victory? The Steelers. I know people think I hate them. I don't. But we're going to find out a lot about the Rams and the Seahawks because the Rams also have some mystery. Is that secondary good enough? Can you contend against JSN? So to me, I know we're trying to talk about Week 10 and the 49ers.
Battle of the frauds.
I'm so past that 49ers game that I'm looking forward to the Seahawks Rams. The loser will be a fraud in my eyes. The winner will be the legit contender here. So it's a big time showdown.
So if the Seahawks win, you're gonna come on here and say Vic and Fernando were right.
Sure, but I'm not wrong about saying you guys crowned them too soon. Like, what have they really done? Nobody's giving me an answer here about what they've really done so far. But whatever, and everybody's gonna run. And I kind of feel for you guys, Victor and Fernando, because you guys were on it before it got trendy, before it got cool, before the coffee shop got too hipstery and got overpopulated with douchebags and hipsters and analytics community. Yeah. Everybody's crowning the Seahawks right now, and it's kind of an annoyance with me here. But I'm not saying I'm also all in on the Rams. Like the Rams have issues all over the place, especially at secondary. I think the O-line got better. But it's a game that I'm really hyped up about because there's a lot of mystery. It's a lot of creativity. And I would not be surprised, speaking about all the creativity that Sean McVay has shown with all the tight ends, I would not be surprised if he goes back to 11 personnel, spread out these guys with Devontae and Puka Nacua, and go to work on this defense. Is a little bit overrated, at least I think, in my eyes. But we'll see. They've been gearing up for this, big man football on both sides here. And we're going to discuss it a whole lot here at House of Horns on Wednesday. But hey, it was a right in the direction, Fernando, with the Rams. I think their ceiling is a little higher now. I don't know how you think about the Rams, but I think they have a chance now to maybe compete with the Eagles. I'm not there yet to say they're better than the Eagles, but they're up there.
Which game are they more likely to lose? The Seahawks game or the Buccaneers game?
Seahawks. I think the Bucs are starting to fade. But if you ask me Lions, I say the Lions have a better chance to beat the Rams than the Seahawks.
Nobody brought in the Lions, and here you go trying.
Well, the Lions have more weapons, and the secondary is not that great. And the Seahawks just have JSN.
They have 3 weapons, and they have a quarterback that the Rams flushed down the toilet and said, "We don't want him here."
Come on, Jared Goff and Sam Darnold are the same quarterback here. Get out of here.
Stop. We're not going there. Like Jared Goff is the.
Sam Darnold's never won a playoff game. What are you talking about? Jared Goff at least gone to the Super Bowl with Sean McVay, but ignore that part.
And then the Patriots exposed him for being one of the biggest frauds out there.
Sam Darnold has not done as much as Jared Goff in his career. Let's be real here. Come on.
No, but I'm not crowning Sam Darnold either. I'm saying what that's the thing that I think people misconstrue. People are very high on Sam Darnold. Vic and I are not. Vic and I are impressed with Mike McDonald and the job he's been able to do with that team. The steps that JSN has taken the way that offense has kind of come together. The offensive line has improved mightily. I remember Eric was crapping on that offensive line 2 years ago, the Pete Carroll's last year.
It was pretty
And
bad.
I'm sure it hurt his heart to tweet those things out. But but now they've improved and they've gotten a lot better. Now, I think with Sam Darnold, you're not going to put the game in his hands because you know what he's going to do. But again, what they're doing right now, and they're jumping out to all these leads. Now, my question is, like, Detroit, can you come back and win some of these? Are you able to come back on some of these games, and are you able to put the team on your back and win them? I don't think that's who Sam Darnold is, but we'll see. When it comes to this game, Mac Jones still threw all over the field on them. Mac Jones
right.
still,
that's my concern. Secondary, yeah.
They can't cover tight ends. They can't cover receivers. It's starting to get a little worrisome for them. And I feel like last year they addressed, hey, we went to go get Puna Ford. Great. What's up with all the what's up with the secondary?
It's not a good secondary at all.
Yeah,
that's why, like, say the Buccaneers were actually healthy with Mike Evans, Godwin, and Ibuka, I think they could light up the secondary. It's just they don't have all these people. Like
they're saying that they're hopeful they get Bucky Irving and Chris Godwin by this game.
Yeah, your team is fading there, Fernando. I'm worried about that.
I know. I'm getting a little nervous now. They still have a winning record and everything, but now I'm getting a little nervous about the way they're playing. Jorge, I talked about him. I said that was a good, impressive win. I was surprised.
He just got late.
I admitted that they had that I thought they were going to lose, but it was a good victory. They were really excited in the locker room and they were hyped up.
You heard so many people by picking the Steelers, Fernando, but you also picked the Vikings also that week of the primetime game. Every primetime game go against them.
I picked the Chiefs. By the way, I'm really 4-0 in primetime games is crazy. Like that's
Chargers,
yeah, that's pretty impressive. They used to choke when it came to primetime games. I think Matthew Stafford is playing incredible football. I think that offense is very good. Again, I'm gonna pat myself on the back a little bit for saying that Devontae. I know that's exactly what I'm gonna need to do, I guess, moving forward. There was a season that Eric did that, by the way. Eric would the Chargers went, I think, 11 or that year that they went 12-4 in 2018. Eric was like choosing against them. Every game he would choose against them, they would win. Every game he chose them, they would lose. And he's like, what the hell's going on? But I definitely think that Matthew Stafford's playing at an MVP level. I'm surprised that his name hasn't been mentioned more. I know everybody wants to go with Mac Jones and Jonathan Taylor and some of these other guys, but I think Matthew's playing very well. Now, can he continue it? That's the thing. He is kind of a roller coaster kind of quarterback, not roller coaster in a bad way, just like there's times where they lean more on the run or there's times where they lean on him. But again, patting myself on the back, it was when Puka went out, he and Devontae, I think, developed a better relationship. And I feel like now they're playing at a very high level. So I'm interested to see what they do moving forward, but these next two games are going to be very critical for them. And for the 49ers, I still don't think they're done. I think they're going to wait till Brock comes back, and then they're going to evaluate where they're at. Their defense just can't. Their defense is bad without Nick and without Michael, because Michael got hurt too, right?
Yeah, everybody who's anybody in that defense got hurt.
Fred Warner, I'm surprised they're still 6-4. I mean, I'm hoping at God that they're able to make the playoffs at least so that I can survive my picks. Vic, I might have to phone a friend for that one. I mean,
you're gonna sacrifice your Bears for that? Come on,
God.
They're both in the mix for the final spot there.
I'm still not sold on them, but whatever. It'll we'll touch.
We'll get to there. We're
tomorrow. All right, Gilbert. Moving along to the Giants have fired Brian Daboll. But the general manager is going to be able to stay on, Joe Shane, and he's going to start conducting the head coaching search. Gilbert, you are shaking your head, hermano. Tell me, what is the matter?
I don't get what these owners in the NFL think. It's like you knew you had a big-time decision to find a franchise quarterback in the offseason. You let go of Daniel Jones, and you say, hey, Brian Daboll and Joe Shane, can you find us this quarterback here? And then you finally get one. And I'm not saying you should have kept Daboll, but it's like, okay, you know what? He's good. We don't need you anymore. Let's have him learn a new playbook. Let's disrupt his development. That's a whole different topic. But like, I like when regime or organizations have a regime that's in line together. They're attached at the hip. They work off each other. Obviously, you don't want a yes man committee, but all like the Les Snead and Sean McVay, they're together. Joe Ortiz and Jimmy Harbaugh, they're together. Like, I don't like what's gonna happen, right? It's like you're gonna get a new coach next year, and then you're gonna fire Joe Shane in 2026 and get a new GM, and then you're gonna give Jackson Dart like 4 different playbooks in 2 years, and
that GM is not going to like that new head coach or that head coach, and he's going to fire him.
Yeah, and then we're gonna head down the path where Daniel Jones was, up and down sometimes, and then let's go, and then Jackson Dart becomes a stud somewhere else. Like,
he goes
what
to
are we doing here?
49er.
Something's gonna happen, but I get John Mara's frustration with Brian Dable. He kept blowing leads. He couldn't coach in the second half. He kept doing design runs for Jackson Dart, who kept getting hurt. I swear he was averaging one blue tent visit per game, Jackson Dart. And remember, I think they got fines for trying to see what's going on over there, Brian Dable. And then a design run there where he got a concussion, and then the game was over. Jackson Dart was outplaying Caleb Williams. Like, I know I like to crap on Caleb Williams every now and then. And he had a nice game. He had a nice comeback to win that game there. But Jackson Dart was outplaying Caleb Williams, and then that injury happened. That was on Brian Dable. The week before that, when Jackson Dart had nobody, no neighbors, no Scatterboo, and he was just kind of playing gunslinger football against the 49ers. You know what Robert Saleh said? Came over and said, man, you're good. Keep fighting. So he was getting praise left and right. And now we're going to get a new coaching staff to figure it out. Maybe Mike Kafka could be the guy to continue that and give stability to Jackson Dart. But interim head coaches rarely get the job. And then I wrote the story at SI.com. And when they do, they get a short leash. Antonio Pierce, one and done. Freddie Kitchens, one and done. If you're promoted within and you avoid the interim tag, you still get a short leash. Gerard Mayo, anybody, one and done after Bill Belichick. Like, it's never a good situation. Like Mike Kafka has a track record of working with Andy Reid, and people love Mike Kafka, and he's helped out with producing a good developmental plan for Jackson Dart. But interim guys always get the shorthand here. They always get screwed over. We mentioned Kellen Moore say, I don't want the interim job with the Chargers. Moves on, finds a job eventually as a head coach with the Saints there. So yeah, it's a lot going on there with the Giants there. I know we got a lot of topics to hit on today, but I hate it. You got to be in line from the ownership to the GM to the head coach to the quarterback, and then you build your foundation for the rest of the roster. I get Joe Shane hit on Dart. I get that Joe Shane, found Cam Scatterboo. Abdul Carter, by the way, hasn't done much. Kayvon Thibodeau has kind of been borderline bust. He's been okay. Brian Burns, you spent a bunch of money on that guy. He's whatever, to be honest. He's a good player.
He has 11.5 sacks.
They are the worst, one of the worst defenses in the NFL. I remember the freaking fourth quarter in Denver. He was nowhere to be found. He was nowhere to be found in Chicago too. Like, how are you making so much money and you're nowhere to be found when the game's on the line? This is a bad defense. So, I know Connor Orr, my colleague at SI, he was just putting out a bunch of candidates they had defensive minds to help out that defensive line, because whoever's been coaching these guys, maybe that's the problem. It's not Brian Burns, but you got to step up. And overall, it was a failure on both sides. And I kind of feel for Brian Dale because he got the quarterback, and I don't want to hear Joe Shane taking credit for Jackson Dart. Brian Dable was on this kid from day one. There was connections there from coaches who worked at Ole Miss and Alabama. There was a bunch of connections there. He raved about this guy. You saw how giddy he got when he got on the field. You saw how pissed off he was when Russell Wilson got on the field. This was a group thinking. And why is Joe Shane still on this team? I don't get it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. When I saw this and then I saw, Joe Shane's going to lead this, I'm like, okay, we just went 10 steps forward to go 10 steps back. By the way, they already asked the Sean McDermott if they're going to bring in Brian Dable, and he's like, no, we're not doing that. So that was pretty interesting.
That was quick.
I know. I wouldn't be surprised if they reach out to Lane Kiffin and they say, hey, you have business here. You have unfinished business in the NFL. Why wouldn't you want to come back with Jackson Dart? I'd be interested to see it.
Well, supposedly your boy Marcus Freeman could be a guy who gets a job this offseason in the NFL.
You're safe. You're safe at Notre Dame.
Lifer?
You're going to be there. Yeah, you're gonna be there for. They're paying you. They're gonna pay you top dollar pretty soon, and you got to do whatever you want. Like you're not expected really to win. Like I'm not saying that you win, but you like it's not like a national championship depends on it. But I just think it's irresponsible of the Maras. Like we all saw the not the Netflix, the Hard Knocks clip where he's pissed and he's like, like that just makes me think that John Mara is not for real. Like he told them, I don't want this to come back and bite us in the ass, dude. It bit you in the ass.
Yeah.
Running Saquon Barkley went to Philly. He went and won a Super Bowl. Okay, was he a part of that game plan in the Super Bowl? Not really. He wasn't as effective, but he was the biggest decoy ever of all time and was a big reason of why they won that Super Bowl. So,
and look at Daniel Jones now. Like that was his. They said, okay, they didn't draft Daniel Jones, but they said, you know what, we like him enough to pay him. They paid Daniel Jones, and then it didn't work, and then they let the guy go, and he's playing much better. So it's their fault. I don't get why they're not. I don't get why Mara's not thinking about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Dable seems like the fall guy now, and you're kind of like, really? Like he's the fall guy? Like I just thought it was a joke. Jorge, I don't think Minter leaves. I think he's gonna stay here until he wins. Well, I think he'll give it one more year, try and win a chip, and I don't think he's gonna be in the discussion for head coach yet. Everybody thought it was gonna be last year. He wasn't. I'd be surprised if he's in it this year, unless these guys really turn it on and they really play well down the stretch. I just think it's irresponsible, Gilbert, and I think it's a joke. I think, like, what is he really gonna do when he comes in here? Like, what's he gonna do that we haven't seen already? Like, this team isn't a lot better now than when he came in. Like, I don't know.
He didn't even draft Andrew Thomas. The O-line is in shambles. The secondary is crappy. Like, I don't know. I don't get it, but yeah.
Neither do I. All right, Gilbert, just some quick hitters. Patriots beat the Bucs 28-23. Is New England legit, or is Tampa Bay banged up?
Yeah, I know people want to say Tampa Bay's banged up, but I think New England is legit. They beat the Bills in Buffalo. I know Buffalo just lost to Miami. I know Tampa Bay is banged up, but you went into Tampa Bay. These are 2 road games. It's like try to find some signature victories that are this impressive with 2 road victories like that. So not many have victories like that on the road. This is a young team. Mike Vrabel, man, I don't get how that guy took a year off and nobody wanted him in the 2024 season. So dumb. Mike Vrabel's a stud.
He was too brash.
Yeah, apparently he was too mean and too tough, and he wanted too much power. People gave him crap when they spent a bunch of money on Milton Williams, who's a stud. So everything's working out for this team.
Tennessee will not trade with them.
I did not know that, but I'm not surprised there. For the rift that they have there, I can see that. But also, what do you want?
You guys are the ones that let him go.
Yeah, so they're doing everything right there. And I said this. I wrote about it at SI.com. And maybe this is me who enjoys kind of seeing surprise teams, and I know I'm giving the Seahawks crap. But in the AFC, like I really think it's anybody's race. I think besides the Broncos, I keep saying that. But I think from the new contenders, I see the Patriots having a better shot than the Colts and the Broncos. And the Chiefs are not all the way back. The Bills have their flaws. The Ravens need to be perfect on the stretch. So why not the Patriots? What if they get the number 1 seed? They have one more game against a team over 500, and that's Buffalo. They could easily get the number 1 seed. And good luck playing against Drake May. A balanced attack with Trayvon Henderson, and you have a good defense too with Mike Vrabel at the keys. So they are definitely doing well right now.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I was gonna go with Tampa being too banged up because they really are, but I mean that's no excuse. The Patriots are really playing good football. Kevin Booty didn't play on Sunday, and he's still
Kayshon Booty,
my bad. Why did I say Kevin? But they were able to play well. They were able to stretch the field. He throws as a pretty deep ball as you can see in the NFL. So I was very impressed with him.
Against Albo's defense too, brother. People were wanting to see that matchup, and he passed with flying colors.
Who?
Drake May.
Oh yeah. No, so I'm very impressed by their team. Their team is very good, and I'm like you. I'm interested to see what they can do in the playoffs. If Buffalo goes into New England in the playoffs, I'm interested to see what what that's going to look like and how all that goes. But yeah, no, I'm definitely impressed with New England. I think they're a very good football team, and I think they have the makings. And this is another thing too. That was the Chargers' second choice. If it would have been if
Vrabel?
Jim Harbaugh would have said no, I'm going back to college, it was going to be Mike Vrabel was going to be their head coach, and it seems like these guys finally wanted like somebody who was brash and would come in and fix all their problems. So, and we all know that Mike is that kind of coach, and we've seen what he's. I mean, shit, he had Ryan Tannehill in the playoffs multiple years, and they even upset the Tom Brady Patriots. So, but yeah,
Yeah. It's a
that was
different group, man. They got a real quarterback, and they're not as physical with the Derrick Henry, but they got a
Josh
good amount of
McDaniel should
backfield
never be a
options.
head coach again. He should just stay with Drake May until Drake May retires. Like,
Oh yeah, they're going to
just
be a
be the
top
highest
player.
paid offensive coordinator in the league. Like, you've already failed twice. Three times. But I'll count that Colts one as a fail. But I think Josh has been exactly what he's needed. Josh has been exactly what he's needed. He knows how to simplify it. He worked with Tom Brady all those years. I really think that this is going to be a perfect relationship between those two. And I thought him swallowing his pride and going back to a place for the third time, I thought it was perfect. But I really think he should never leave again. So,
Yeah.
all right, Gilbert, real quick, Miami upsets Buffalo. Are you worried about the Buffalo Bills?
Maybe this is not a question for me because I've always been worried about this team, but also I don't really take them seriously. People always think that it's going to be the year they make it. I don't get it. They never really improved their roster. I know Ed Oliver was having a monster year. He just got hurt. I don't trust this defense. They don't have enough, elite skill players offensively besides Josh Allen. I don't know, but I did say the AFC is wide open. Maybe the Bills will figure it out. The Bills are going to be okay. They're going to probably make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to win the AFC East. I think the Patriots could beat them twice. But to me, the Bills are never high on my radar. That's why I never I know you give me crap for a second with the Ravens for my midseason Super Bowl pick because I'm not in love with any team in the AFC. The Bills are not great. Like the Chiefs are not all the way back, and the Colts I think still need more help defensively. By the way, Sauce Gardner got torched by Drake London. Well, I'm saying London Drake London in that overtime game against the Falcons. But I don't know. It's anybody's race, and I do enjoy that part in the AFC. In the NFC, I still think it's the Eagles and everybody else. We'll find out right now when they play the Packers. But I don't know. The Bills seem to me like maybe the fourth or fifth best team in the AFC. I've never really been high on them, anyways.
So you're calling Sauce Gardner Trent Richardson 2.0?
They paid a lot. I don't think like it was Sertan, or even Stingley. I would have done it. Like Garner has not been that guy in a couple of years now, and he had a rough time against Drake London. And London,
Yeah.
he's no slouch. He's probably an emerging top 5 to top 10 wide receiver this year. So that
Top
was a
10,
tough
yeah.
matchup. First game also, and you mentioned Garner could get established as the weeks go by because he has Kenny Moore. Ward is going to come back, and you get to learn from Lou Anarumo. But that was a rough first game.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the Bills. I feel like they've gotten way too injured. They lost that guy that they played. He played defensive end for them. Hoy. I can't remember his name right now. I haven't
Four?
been able to recover from Hoy. I don't give a shit.
I don't even
Hoy.
know which
Hoy.
team.
For the Bills. They
Oh,
lost him
Michael
against
Hoyt.
the
Michael
Chiefs.
Hoyt.
Michael Hoyt. Yeah.
Yeah.
They lost him again in the Chiefs game. They lost some other rookie
Yeah.
yesterday. They've lost a bunch of guys. Guys just keep on dropping for them. Ed Oliver is not going to come back until the playoffs. And I feel like this offense just doesn't click. And then when they do, like, you have a turnover in the red zone by James Cook. Like, there's just
Yeah.
a lot of problems at
Couldn't run the ball.
field. Yeah, and the problem is that they're not going to have home field. Like, if they had a home field, I'd be like, oh yeah, they're going to be fine. But can they go on the road and win road games? That's what I'm interested
Yeah,
to
they've been
see.
used to being at home, and they couldn't even beat the Chiefs that way.
So I'm interested to see if they could go on the road and win. But I don't know. We'll see. All right, let us quickly bring in Vic, the producer, and see what is up with him right now. See what he's got for us. Vic, how you doing?
That was a good conversation there about the AFC, and that's where I kind of want to start with you guys since we're kind of low on time here. We're gonna start off with some fact or fiction. An AFC wildcard team will make it to the Super Bowl. Now, let me give you some context here. The last AFC wildcard to win the Super Bowl was
Steelers
in 2005. The 2020 Bucks are the last NFC team to win to make it to the Super Bowl.
Don't count them. That was an anomaly.
Yeah. And
Saints
one
won the
more
division.
thing, an AFC wildcard team makes it to the Super Bowl every 20 years. The 85 Patriots and the 05 Steelers. So right now you have the Chargers as the 5th seed, you have the Bills as the 6th seed, and you have the Jaguars as the 7th seed, with the tiebreaker over the Chiefs. So Gilbert, I'll start off with you. Will a wild card team make it to the Super Bowl this year?
Yeah, it's a good question because of the teams you just listed in the wild card race, but my pick still counts here, and I'm gonna say no on the wild card team. The Ravens are gonna win the AFC North, and they're gonna come out of the AFC because I want to be right all the time. But honestly, if it's not them Fernando's, I know you're rolling your eyes. I can see the Patriots winning it. I just praise the Patriots. I don't know about the Colts. I don't know about the Broncos, but I will put my money on the Patriots or Ravens to win it. And those two teams have a better chance than the Bills and the Chiefs. I know I always praise the Chiefs, but it's not their year. I'm serious about that. I know people don't believe that when I say that, but Bills, Chiefs, Jaguars, get the hell out of here. And the Chargers are the 5th seed right now, but honestly, the Chargers could maybe win the AFC West, so I'm not knocking them here.
Oh, right now we're talking about right now.
No, right now.
I would
Yeah,
no.
I
Well,
still go with what I said.
I'm kicking Jacksonville out, and I'm putting Kansas City in.
Get
I
the hell
trust
outta
the
here.
Chargers, Kansas City, and Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl more than I do the Broncos. And it's not the Ravens, it's the Steelers. So there you go. And the Patriots and whoever the hell else I'm missing, and the Colts. I trust those 3 teams over the other 4. So I am going to go with yes. I can definitely see an AFC wild card.
You know the Ravens are going to win that division. Let's not pretend that's not going to happen.
What?
The Ravens are going to win the AFC North. Let's not pretend that's not going to happen.
You didn't see that Joe Burrow return today?
All right, now you're trying to annoy me, but yeah, I did see it.
He's back.
All right,
They're coming
Fernando.
back.
Let's head over to the NFC. The fact or fiction, the NFC playoff teams are already set after week 10.
Can you give me the
Eagles,
wild card
Lions.
team?
Yeah, I got you. Eagles, Lions, Rams, Seahawks, Buccaneers, Packers, and Bears.
Oh, that last team. I just can't believe in that team, but I'll say for the sake of argument, yes, I'll say that they are set. Who's below
The 49ers
My Panthers.
and the Panthers.
No, those guys. Get the
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say that they're set. I hate to admit it with the Bears, but the Bears just keep on beating up on bad teams, and everybody keeps on praising Caleb Williams, saying that he's so amazing and he's so great. But I think we all know the truth about that. So I don't buy and this isn't a question about if I buy the Bears, but yeah, I think those are going to be that's going to be the playoff teams, and I think it's going to be a slugfest.
Gilbert, fact or fiction?
Yeah, I just want to say I got screwed in the redraft order of me getting the Panthers, you getting the Seahawks, and Dan getting the Colts. But whatever, it's like the Montreal screw job. You know, for whatever reason, I always get screwed here. And the freaking Panthers laid an egg against the Saints. Panthers, what the hell? Sorry, I'm still annoyed. But no, I don't. The Bears have a tough schedule. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I say they fade a little bit. They're pretenders. Again, Jackson Dart got hurt and they won that game. Credit to Caleb Williams. He put that team on his back. I liked seeing that for him. But that first half, man, there was like probably 10 overthrows and 10 missed throws. And I'm like, come on, Caleb. But he's just a kind of a roller coaster. But I think I saw 6 teams they're playing with over 500 record currently. They're going to start fading. But then you got the 49ers. Can they hang on? That's a tough ask. Maybe it's my Panthers.
I think they're waiting for Brock Purdy. Like Ricky Pearsall, he hasn't played, and then Brock Purdy, like they said it was going to be 2 to 4 weeks, and now it's been almost the whole season. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I hope there's a surprise in there, but I say 6 out of 7 make it, and I think the Bears don't.
So both of you guys, well, Fernando says fact, and you say fiction. All right, last one, guys. Jonathan Taylor, his only path to the MVP is that he has to rush for over 2,000 yards, and he's got to break LT's touchdown record. Fact or fiction?
His touchdown record is 28, Gilbert. Or no, 31. 31.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it in the 30s? Yeah. And where is he at right now? Like halfway there? Or maybe?
He's at 15, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the only path there. And here's one more. The Colts got to get the number 1 seed. So it's a lot here. Saquon Barkley got 2K, and nobody gave him the time of day. He was the best player on the best team last year, and nobody gave a crap. So to me, it might be no path here, but I want to see Jonathan Taylor, get the MVP and some love for the Seahawks. I want to see JSN get some love in the MVP race, not Sam Darnold. JSN is the key there. So give it to a skill player. Let's go with pretend it's like the Heisman Trophy. Let's send 3 guys to New York: Stafford, JSN, and Taylor, and then have a vote there.
I think breaking LT's record will do it, but if it's just the 2K, they're not going to do it. You can tell this is like I've always said that they should do MVP and MVQ, most valuable quarterback, then an MVP. Like who was the best? Give defenders an opportunity, give other people an opportunity, not just quarterbacks. But I think he has to break LT's record. I just don't think he'll do it, even though he has one more game. Because running backs start fading towards the end of the season, so I'd be very surprised if he.
We saw Saquon he got sat down on the last week, so that's the other thing too. All right, guys, last thing here. Monday Night Football preview here. Eagles at the Green Bay Packers. What's most likely to happen tonight? We get a close game, or it's actually a blowout?
The cheese-eating bastard loses his shit. He's out there in Wisconsin right now, so no, I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Eagles kind of let teams hang around for a little while, and then they kind of put the nail in the coffin in the fourth quarter. I think that's what we'll get tonight.
Gilbert?
Yeah, I'll say close game, but I'll add it's going to be a snoozer. I don't really care to watch the Packers, and I'm starting to get Eagles fatigue, but hey, to their credit, they know how to play physical brand of football, and people don't know how to hang with that. But
you like the Panthers?
I don't know. Panthers, again, I got screwed for that. I didn't want to pick this team. Don't get me going again. I got screwed.
You did it quickly too. You said I'm dropping the Chiefs and I want the Panthers.
No, I said I wanted the Colts. And then, by the way, now that I think about it, I got screwed over because the Colts and the Commanders didn't have a bye week, and for whatever reason, I couldn't count in my head fast enough, and I thought it was like somebody had.
We're gonna blame Robert D for that. He's like, no, they already had their bye, and I'm like,
screwed.
And also it was my fault for not checking everything.
I've been telling you guys every time I pick the Panthers, they're like cursed with me. So whatever. Anyways, it's gonna be an ugly game. Tush push, front and center. The team that wanted it gone, and the team that
Chargers tush push 3 times yesterday.
Nice. Shout out to Jim Harbaugh.
I know, for real. And Dean was one of the owners that wanted it banned, so that's pretty funny to see that. I was surprised because they said Albert Breer, I remember, came out and said that Jim got up and he spoke for 25 minutes asking, so what if I put 2 guards behind my quarterback and I have I have 2 guards right in front of my quarterback and they open up the hole and they do all, he was asking so many questions. So I'm like, okay, that must have been an ownership thing. And somebody must have told Dean, hey, lean this way. So
Dino heard that and said, fuck it. Nah, I don't want this here.
Exactly. All right. We appreciate everybody for jumping on and watching Lunes Live. You guys are the best. We are slowly growing Lunes Live more and more. We appreciate everybody who jumps in here. We appreciate everybody who comments. Tuesday, the 4 Compas will be back. Dan and Dago will be present. So it'll be a fun and exciting episode of the 4 Compas show.
The
Wednesday,
coaching leader.
Gilbert and Vic will preview the Seahawks versus the Rams game. I think Dan and I are going to do it Thursday. So we will preview the Chargers against the Jaguars. And then next week we will be having a guest for the mid-show. You guys have been asking for Eric. Eric will jump on. Chris also said he'll jump on. So we'll give you guys a little taste of Eric and Chris and see what they think of the Chargers through their bye week. But again, appreciate everybody so much for checking out another episode of Lunes Live. You guys are the best. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to go get your antennas.
Yes.
So
link in the description.
Speaking of cockroaches, where were Euro antennas when they were in my store stealing? I love that scene. That's a Christmas movie, by the way, that nobody talks about. Friday After Next. Appreciate everybody. You guys are the best. Gilbert, why don't you get us out of here?
Yeah, Kimberly, you brought up Christmas. It's early in November, but it's okay. I forgive you, Fernando. It's that time of year. But it's time to get going. Don't forget your antennas. Get them in the link. No, I can't even. I'm a terrible influencer. Link in the description. Get them. And I knew you're going to do that. On that note, nos vamos. Pues, I wish